welcome back to another episode of JP and the Beanstalk.
Oh boy!
We're here.
We're in it. There's a great energy in the gym. We're souped up, hyped up, snowed in, and ready to rumble.
Lots of snow, lots of snow.
You know, why hasn't there ever been a professional wrestling match in the snow? They do a lot of crazy things in professional wrestling. Where's the snow? They have fire, they have chairs, they have baby oil everywhere. Where's the snow, guys?
This is solid. They should also do that for sumo wrestling as
Where
well.
are the freaking polar bears? Like, bring a real live creature into the mix. Don't declaw it. Let's see what happens.
I think, on top of that, why not on like a body of water?
Absolutely.
Like you have one platform,
Yep.
And then your whole point is like, well, you can beat them if they fall off the ring.
You bet.
Kind of like a Dragon Ball Z thing.
Why not? Why not?
I don't understand it.
They have weights tied to their ankles. They get knocked off. You're done.
They just die.
You're just done. Let's go gladiators here.
It would be even
not American gladiators, freaking Roman gladiators.
It would be even funnier if they had it like the length measured out to be exactly where your head was just like this above
Oh
water.
My goodness!
So you weren't gonna drown, but you're pretty close.
Wow. Yeah. So only your head is above water. Interesting. Okay. That's a more likely scenario and much more humane.
I may be slightly psychotic. Slightly.
Gosh, what movie was it? It was, oh my goodness. That's reminding me. I remember watching the movie, was it The Gray with Liam Neeson? I think that's right, but I want to look this up to be absolutely...
I have a particular set of skills.
That's right, it was The Gray. Okay, so Liam Neeson on a plane crashes in the wilderness, because of course, and it's survival time, right? And Liam and this band of fellow survivors from the plane crash embark on a quest, really just to get themselves out of, like, they're in the thick of the wilderness, get out of the wilderness, back to humanity, and one by one, I don't remember how many guys are with Liam, let's just say it's a half dozen altogether, right? One by one, the wilderness gets them, okay? And the reason I'm bringing this up is I remember not Liam, but the last guy before Liam, when he dies from drowning in a very shallow body of water. Like his foot, the reason he cannot get above the surface of the water is his foot gets caught on a root, like in this creek. Okay, so not deep, right? But just deep enough where his head is under the water and you're like, oh, come on, he's going to make it. Surely he can get his foot uncaught. No. It was one of the most miserable things I've ever seen in a movie.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Terrible way to go. I don't ever want to die from drowning. Explosion, absolutely. Blow me up all day.
That would be sweet.
Drowning, terrible. No thank you.
It just, when you bring up Liam Neeson, it just makes me laugh because I swear every movie he's in, either a plane gets taken over, or a train gets taken over, or he has to, the boat gets taken hostage.
Yeah.
It's always some form of transportation.
The senator from Naboo gets kidnapped. I mean, Liam, he's there with a lightsaber.
Right, that's my point.
He's just that guy. What a great thing to get typecast as, though. Like, hey, we just need you to step in and
die,
kick some butt.
Oh no, I didn't.
Well, not the dying part. Actually, that would be cool, though, right? What if you had a run, and it couldn't last that long, maybe a year and a half to 2 years, where you're the guy that just gets killed in the movie?
See, I think it'd be phenomenal.
That would be great.
And if you have like a 15-year career,
sure,
and you're the guy that dies, right?
You can stretch it out to 15 years.
You just, because it's not a matter of you are dying because they know you're going to die. It's a matter of when. So everybody's waiting to see when you're going to die. And then people are going to realize the trope and they're going to be like, well, we got to figure out when he's going to die. So then they start taking bets on when you're going to die. And then it would be masterful if you just land like not even a leading role.
No, but
like a side role where you're kind of just in the movie.
People are like, oh, we want this guy to be here.
Right.
No, he's in an he's going to die.
Right, and then you don't die. And everybody loses their minds. And then that's the whole point of the trick, and then you retire. It's
After
genius.
living for one movie.
Yes.
I like that.
You go out on top.
I like that. Yeah. That's a really good career path you got laid out there.
Yeah, I'll do that in a heartbeat.
Pursue it.
I'll do that in a heartbeat.
That's incredible. No, that's genuinely great.
All that I ask is I don't die the same way twice. I want to be like Doomsday.
Sure.
But as an actor.
Okay. Yep, new ways to go down. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Did you ever see the Tom Cruise movie Edge of Tomorrow? It's a great movie.
That movie's literally about dying and respawning, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It's great. He dies in a multitude of ways. A multitude of ways. So if you're not a Tom Cruise fan, you can even get a kick out of it because you watch him get killed over and over again in an incredible variety of fashions. Melted, run over by truck, shot by alien, just fill in the blank, and it happens. Crushed by falling helicopter.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
Just reminds me of Wolverine in his X-Men Origins Wolverine when he takes down the helicopter.
Sure.
That movie was not great.
Nope.
But that scene specifically was badass.
Yeah. The epitome of cool guys don't look at explosions.
It really is. That could have been the whole music video. Just that on repeat.
Could have been the whole Wolverine movie.
Mark
cool guys don't look at
Wahlberg
explosions.
is wearing a hat. Fantastic.
God bless you, Lonely Island.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's great. Well, let's see. It's Thursday, the third day. Little Friends inside joke there for you. And we are the day before the official release date of Ant-Man and the Wasp, a common gripe of ours. But nonetheless, for those that want to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp, you can be doing that tonight. Just like my boy, Mr. Hurd, is at the show. You and I are going to go partake in it with some other fellow brethren and lady brethren here in a couple evenings.
Now here's a question. Did Soul go tonight as well? Or did he actually hold out?
Woo, I bet he went. He went.
I feel like he went too.
He's a multiple times viewer, so if he didn't go tonight, I'd be stunned.
Well, I sent him a picture, and he didn't respond to me, so he better be in a movie.
He's there right now.
He better be in a movie. I was at Walmart, and I saw one of those comic covers, but I saw Thor,
Yep.
and I thought of him immediately.
Yep.
And I was like, and I got nothing, unless that's him right there, which would have been hilarious, but it wasn't.
Incredible.
Wasn't him.
Hopefully he's enjoying it. But, I mean, we're excited to see it, so that's going to be a big topic for us on this pod. Before we get into that, though, we of course are fresh coming off the Super Bowl, right? It was a very competitive game. We're sports ball fans, so we enjoyed that. You felt strongly against both teams. I felt strongly against the Eagles, and I was okay with seeing the Chiefs win. I have nothing against the Chiefs. But I think the consensus amongst our friend group was that it was not the matchup that anyone really desired, right? There were a lot of Niners and Bengals hopeful folks out there, myself included. So at least we got a good game.
Right. I'm just going to come out and say it now before we get into all our fame and glory. I can't stand the city of Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm going to say that. I'm going to stand by it. I don't care if I have a whole city armed against me.
That's okay. I'll support you.
I don't like the city of Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
So if I ever go on tour, you better believe I'm going to be wearing all Dallas stuff or all Boston Celtics stuff. Because guess what? My teams are the antithesis to your teams, and we're way better.
Hey.
But besides this year. But that's besides the point.
I'll support you from a distance.
Thank you.
But I'll support you nonetheless.
I also might die if I step into that city.
Perhaps.
There's a good chance.
Yeah, you're going to want to go into some armed guard. But why are we talking about the Super Bowl? Because we had two fresh, outstanding trailers coming out of the Super Bowl for The Flash and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that we're going to discuss. And then, of course, the bow on top, another classic JP and the Beans. Top 5. That's right. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them.
Doing my best Greg Popovich impression.
Old Pop. Gotta love him.
I love it when he did that.
What a guy. What an absolute icon. Well, let's dive into it. Let's hit out of the two trailers, all right? We're kind of in that MCU vein, so let's lean into the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. What do we know about the movie? Trailer notwithstanding, it is going to be the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So no big surprises there. It's coming out in the not too distant future. Let's see.
Well, with this roster.
Right, with this roster. I suppose there's always iterations that could come, but with James Gunn stepping into that lead role on the DC side, he will by necessity step out of the ownership that he has taken of the Guardians franchise. And it's probably the last we'll see of Chris Pratt as Star-Lord would be my guess, but who knows? So we've got a lot of potential nostalgia coming at us. But I'm getting ahead of myself. The trailer, Riles. What did you see? What are your takeaways from that fresh Guardians of the Galaxy
This is going to be
3 trailer?
Firstly, I just want to say, Swole Groot better sell just as many, if not more, toys than Baby Groot did. Mm-hmm. That dude is jacked. He's been taking his steroids up his butt, and it's been paying off.
Sure,
it's been paying off.
Sure.
Secondly, I think we're going to be crying a lot in this movie. This looks like a sad, sad movie. Like, I think half the roster's gone. For sure, Drax is dead. There was a moment where he's like,
yeah,
I love spending time with you guys. He's dead immediately after that. I'm going to call that. Rocket, there's a good chance Rocket dies, which I am against. I think that's a very bad call. It is what it is.
It does look like there's going to be tears.
Right.
Or opportunity for tears.
There's an otter that talks, and she lost an arm, it looks like.
Ouch.
That's tough.
That is tough.
The bad guy looks kind of cool.
Yeah, well, high evolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Warlock, I'm still like 50-50 on, just because I'm like, he's not one character that I was like, oh my gosh, he's here.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I think they've got a lot for us to see in this movie. We've had 2 trailers now for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and between the 2, there's been very little overlap footage, and yet I feel like somehow they're still not showing us much. Like you mentioned, Adam Warlock, he was teased all the way back in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which came out such a long time ago that tease has probably been forgotten and fallen out of most people's memory banks. But he is a not insignificant character out of the Marvel Comics that has yet to make his MCU appearance. So I am eager for that character reveal, and we've seen precious little of him in these trailers. A little tease in the first trailer, and I guess a double portion of a tease in this second trailer, but still not a lot, and I think his character is going to have a significant piece to play in this film.
Do you think it's a weird thing that they held on to him until now? Because don't you feel like he would have been like more like...
What's weird about it is that he's consistently paired up as an adversary of Thanos.
That's what I mean, yeah.
And so now that Thanos is entirely out of the picture, that is strange, right? That's weird. So what to do with the guy? Who knows? But his primary function in the comics, at least traditionally, was to be a foil or support against anybody that was going up, support for anybody that was going up against Thanos. So, agreed, for him to be introduced this late is odd if you're going strictly off of the comics. So I don't know what he's going to be there to do. I suspect that if the Guardians of the Galaxy as a group is maintained in future MCU movies, that it's going to be kind of the classic, hey, initially he's against the Guardians, he's fighting against them, he's an adversary, and then he becomes one of them, right? We haven't seen that happen before.
Never.
So...
Oh, crap, she did. And then also the Yondu's brother.
Yondu. Well, Yondu himself. Yondu himself. Right?
They have never done this before.
Yeah, this is a brand new idea. Really brand new concept.
So it happens every movie.
Really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, caught me by surprise again. Okay. So yeah, that's odd. I mean, they haven't shown, and I like this. They haven't revealed any of how they reconnect with Gamora. I hope they don't make too big of a deal out of searching for her, right? I mean, because that's a foregone conclusion that they're going to link up with Gamora and she's going to get back with the band in some capacity. So I really hope not too much of the movie is spent on the Guardians searching for her. I would like that to be resolved fairly quickly.
Oh, I totally forgot
Right?
she separated off.
Right?
Well, that trailer makes it seem like she's just there. I'm assuming she wasn't with them in the Christmas special?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Good to know.
Yeah. So, once again, the music is on point. It is completely choice. As I'm looking through the cast list, I'm reminding myself, oh my gosh, that's right. Sylvester Stallone has a character. He's one of the Ravishers. So I would love to get more of Sly Stallone. Get the Ravishers involved. That'd be great. I'm sorry. Is it Ravishers or Ravagers? I just said Ravisher, and now that doesn't sound right.
It's Ravagers.
It is Ravagers.
You know what?
That's disgusting. How did I say Ravisher twice?
I don't know. I didn't.
Gross.
To be honest, I didn't catch it.
Gross.
I
caught it, and I felt dirty saying ravish like multiple times.
I was too busy thinking of
Disgusting.
I was too busy thinking of Sylvester Stallone entering the screen with boxing
Why
gloves
would I
on.
say Sylvester Stallone and then ravish?
I don't know.
That's horrible.
Maybe because he's ravishing. I don't know.
I'm gonna sit the next couple plays out. Riley, you say things now.
Yeah, no, I was thinking about him having like space boxing gloves and coming out without a shirt on. That's what I was hoping we'd see him next. But yeah, I don't know why that's where my brain went. So, well, I do know why, because Rocky. But yeah. So that's Guardians of the Galaxy 3's trailer.
I have to point out one more thing about the trailer. The High Evolutionary has some strong Joker New 52 era vibes going on. You seen the dude's face?
Yeah,
have you noticed how it's just like it's not his face?
Yeah, so that's coming off, right?
That thing's coming off at some point.
Well, he doesn't have a face in the comics. He's robot guy person, so that's coming off. That's a good thing to think about.
For those who didn't catch the reference that I made there, in New 52 Batman, the Death of the Family story arc, the Joker reemerges, and at some point, and this is freaking weird, he had sliced off his face. One of the most disgusting things that I've ever read in comics.
Honestly, kind of fitting for him, because it made him even creepier.
Somehow. But it did. Creepy as all get out. So he's got his face back. So he gets sliced off, he loses it, very weird, comes back, gets the face back, and stretches it across his skinless face and then staples it to his... It's nasty.
How, though? That's the other question.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
It's nasty.
Well, and then also in that storyline, he faked cut off everybody else's faces.
He made the Bat family think he had cut off their faces.
And they looked at it, and oh my goodness.
Oh.
Talk about trauma.
I own that comic, and it's sitting on my shelf, and I don't want to open it again.
No, I don't blame you.
No,
that would scar me.
No, it's scary.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really creepy. So the High Evolutionary, seeing him, bringing back some things that I'm not really excited about.
He's going to be like that girl Transformer in Transformers 2 that tries to get with Sam Witwicky and then tries to kill him with the tongue. Yeah, that's going to be similar.
Yeah.
Less creepy, because that one was creepy too.
That one was
that robot switch was creepy, and that's why I don't trust robots.
Nor should you. One more thing I want to say about High Evolutionary. I think he's going to suck as a villain.
Oh, that's poo.
I do.
Well,
I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, but the vibe that I get is that just as a villain, he's not going to be great. I hope I'm wrong. Riley.
Well, I think I don't
pure feel. No real tangible here's why, just feel thing.
Here's where I will place him in Guardians villains.
Mm-hmm.
He will be higher than Ronan.
Sure.
He will be lower than Ego.
Okay.
He will be the middle ground.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 trailer. Go check it out. The Flash. Whoa. That trailer dropped. And here's the deal. This is going to be fun because we're going to be on two different ends of the spectrum. I'm converted. I think it's going to be a great movie. And you, Riley? Is the podcast over?
No. No.
Are we parting ways?
Who's playing the Flash?
Let's see. Some guy named Ezra Miller.
Yeah, my point. 1 point for Beans.
He's weird, but he's a good fit.
Is Henry Cavill in this movie?
He's a good fit. We don't know yet.
Point for Beans.
We don't know yet.
Oh, point for
we
Beans.
We don't know yet.
That's a point for Beans. That's 2-0.
Okay. Fine. Is Michael Keaton playing Batman in the movie? 5 points for JP. Game over. Boom.
Is Ben Affleck also playing Batman in this movie?
How dare you.
10 points
How
for
dare
Beans.
you.
And the tables have turned again.
So we have Batman in this movie.
Oh my gosh.
We have Batman in this movie. We have multiple flashes. There's probably more questions really than answers coming out of this trailer. But let's hit some highlights, okay? What I liked from the trailer. Listen, Ezra Miller is a weird, mother-loving dude. I am all for this vibe of Barry Allen that we get from him.
Okay,
he's
but
also talented. It's
a weird choice for Barry. I'm sorry, it's a weird choice for Barry.
In what way?
He just seems off.
Okay. Like fidgety kind of off?
I don't know, he almost kind of seems like
loopy?
Like maybe a little, maybe like a villain-esque. You know?
A little too much darkness in there?
Yeah, like he might pop off at any time.
Interesting.
It's in the eyes, Jordan.
Okay.
If I'm being completely honest with you, it's in the eyes.
You gotta look away from his eyes.
No, you just... Yeah. That is my indicator for everyone.
Okay.
If there's something going on with the eyeballs.
I think Ezra Miller's nuts. That part, I mean, that's just undisputed. Like, that's just a track record. Let's go to the tape here. Whoa, yep, nuts. And I think he's a great fit for Barry Allen. I do. So again, this may be the end of the pot, but it's okay. We're gonna die on this hill together, not by drowning, but by explosion. We've already established that. It won't be by drowning. So, our boy Barry's in there. I like the Flashpoint vibes that we're getting. Okay, and I'm not a Flashpoint. Hey, give me some of that from the comics. It's fine. It's a good concept. It's not by any stretch of the imagination one of my favorite comics.
It's such an odd choice for your first Flash movie.
It's all because they're just resetting things. I mean, functionally, that's the only direction that they're going with that.
But when they decided on this 20 years ago, when they announced this movie, they didn't indicate that at all. In honesty, they got lucky. They got lucky that this timed the way that it timed. Or maybe they purposely pushed it back this long. But I don't think they're that well thought out.
No, I think this is more the case of the blind squirrel finding the nut as much as anything else.
And that squirrel was in a different hemisphere and still somehow found the nut.
Yeah. Someday we're going to get a more detailed idea of the production history of this movie. It's not going to be for a long while, I would guess. But I do think that the idea of this Flash movie being a reset point has been out there for a while, because the powers that be at Warner Bros., once they fell out of love with Zack Snyder's vision, were like, how do we adjust this? Hey, there's this Flashpoint comic where Flash resets things. That's what I think. So I don't think this was driven by James Gunn.
Oh,
right?
No.
This is obviously preceded him. But I think that's my hunch. Do I know that for a fact? Of course not. But that's my hunch. So I'm on board with the Flashpoint vibes, because for me as a fan, anything can happen in this movie, and all that must happen is that it resets whatever needs to be reset so we can start fresh with the DC slate where we want to start fresh. And if they want to carry over some worthwhile individuals into their character roles, Henry Cavill as Superman, which we already know we're not getting, but we should be, that would be fantastic, right? We don't know a lot, but I'm excited by what we see so far. Michael Keaton as Batman looks incredible.
He does look good.
Looks incredible.
He does look great.
Incorporated the original 1989 Batman music into the trailer. That was awesome. That was powerful. Something from the Flashpoint comic that they're teasing a little bit in this movie is that the Flash in the Flashpoint comic doesn't create a world without metahumans, but the world that results from his actions to save his mom is very different in terms of the relationships of all the heroes. One of the most on-point parallels is Superman isn't around. He came to Earth. When his ship landed on Earth, it was immediately discovered by, I think it was the U.S. government, and they've kept him underground for his entire life. And so in the Flashpoint comic, it's not until later in the comic when he is set free. I don't remember if it's Batman or the Flash that cuts him loose, but regardless, then he gains his power and, obviously becomes a force for good. But they're doing that instead with Superman with Supergirl. I don't mind that.
He's malnourished.
Very malnourished.
Look very scary.
Yeah.
Like a floating corpse.
I'm all for that. I think that's a cool concept to lean into. I have a lot of questions. For example, what other heroes are going to be in this movie? We know we're getting Batmen. We know we're getting a Supergirl. I think there's others that are going to show up. What do you think?
Probably. I don't know who or whom. It would have been really cool to get like that Wonder Woman Aquaman fight from the comics. Mm-hmm. That would have been kind of cool. And see if Gal Gadot can play the bad guy and behead some people, because I think she could. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to do it similar to the comics in that regard. So I think if somebody else shows up, I
don't think it'll be that on the nose.
Right. It'll be a different version. Maybe one is not so good of a guy.
Yep.
Compared to somebody else. But, I'm like 50-50 on it. I don't know. There's going to be somebody, I'm sure.
Here's a really important question for you on the hero track. All right? So we know Michael Keaton is playing Batman. Is he playing Bruce Wayne, or is it Thomas Wayne?
I think it's Bruce.
You do?
I think it's Bruce.
I think that's most likely, but the opening is there for it to be Thomas, because not once in the trailer is he referred to as Bruce.
I know, but...
And that's a Flashpoint comic thing. I'm not holding to it. I'm not even necessarily hoping for that, but it's there. It could be a thing.
Look, Michael Keaton would be a great choice for Thomas Wayne.
He would. He'd be outstanding.
But at the same time, they're giving us the same suit. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm like, that's probably not it. Now, if they were to do like a sweet like Flashpoint Batman suit down the line, and that's a red herring, and they're like, oh, you think you're getting 1989. No. Well played. But I am going to say something really crazy here.
Do it anyway.
I don't think they're that smart. So, now it's probably going to be Bruce.
That's some solid ground to stand on.
Yeah.
Okay. How about villains? We don't get a glimpse of any villain outside of one we've seen before. Well, I've seen before. Zod. Again, we have to watch Man of Steel before we see The Flash together. And we will. It's going to be glorious.
I agree.
I like the idea of bringing Zod back. I do, because again, I love Man of Steel, and I think Zod was a phenomenal part of Man of Steel, so I think that's a strength to bring him back, to lean back into that character and Michael Shannon's portrayal of Zod. I'm really certain that we're going to get some Reverse Flash action. I really do.
I want to hold out hope that is the case.
What would that do for you if that came to be?
Depending on who's Reverse Flash and how they pull it off.
Ezra Miller.
You think he's going to play himself?
Oh.
You think he's going to play the opposite?
Sure.
He's going to play Reverse Flash and the regular? Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay.
I want it to be...
Different.
I want it to be Eobard Thawne and not some evil version of Barry Allen.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's a cop-out, because you didn't want to sign another actor.
I think that's pretty likely.
You know what? And that's why I don't like it. It's you know what? That's probably what's going to happen. It's not even going to be... You know what?
It'll just be an evil version of Barry.
Right. It's not even going to be... They're not going to be like, oh, it's the Reverse Flash.
Sure.
It's going to be like, I killed my mom and my dad. And then he'll just come out, and then he'll try to... I don't know. It'll be something crazy
through time trying to kill
all of his other berries. Yes. It's like, oh yeah, I lost my parents. You don't get them either. Yeah, it'll be something stupid like that.
What a turd.
But other than that, there's open doors. Here's the thing that you have to ask yourself: what got cut from this movie?
Oh, jeez.
Because of the new changes. What did they put in because of the changes? I have no idea. This is Russian roulette for characters. I have no idea who's going to be in it and who's not going to be in it, and it's going to make kind of sense. Or not kind of sense at all.
I'm just thinking back to the Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness build-up with all the rumors that floated around that movie. And that movie did not have the same elongated production nightmare. And there were so many of those rumors that did not come to pass.
And I was okay with that.
And same.
That worked in its favor.
Same. So I don't even know what to say in terms of what, to answer your question. I don't know. But for me, for what I would hope for, I'd be all for a Elseworlds feeling movie, right? I don't need to see, I want to see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, yes, but I don't necessarily need to see her in this movie.
Right.
I just want to see her in future Wonder Woman films. Same with Jason Momoa's Aquaman, with I'm just absolutely blanking, Zachary Levi's Shazam. I don't need those characters in this movie. I'm all for giving alternate versions of the characters. That to me is really cool and part of the appeal of the time travel aspect. That'd be great.
What I think this movie could do really well is, and I think it'd be really cool if they do it, is that if towards the end of this movie we get little cameos.
Sure.
You just see you see Shazam flying through.
Yep.
You see, maybe you tease your new Green Lantern. Just maybe 2 new characters you confirm, and then you confirm 2 characters that you're like, these 2 are sticking around.
Yep.
I think that would be perfectly done, because then you're like, it provides the right amount of hype.
Yep.
Because these guys are coming back.
Yeah.
And even
it provides you a launching point.
Even if you show off a silhouette of Green Lantern, you don't show the face, you just show the emblem, and you're like, it's actually happening.
Yeah.
Just to show that, your cohesiveness is going to happen.
It's really a thing.
Right. Flashpoint doesn't have to be a part of it, and it won't be, but at the same time, if this is your prequel into your chapter 0, essentially, into what's happening, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. And it has the potential to be that, right? It's coming after the Shazam movie, prior to Blue Beetle, which everything we've been told is a very standalone, isolated film, and then the Aquaman movie at the very end of the year. So there's
that one's going to be a weird one too, because it's going to be weird if they were going to place it before the Flash movie and after the Flashpoint, whatever.
So, but I agree. There's an opportunity for the movie, for whatever conclusion it comes to end with a strong tone of hopefulness. And so if it can do that, if it can provide a hopeful, optimistic tease for the future, there's power in that.
Because I'll be honest, this movie could be absolute garbage. Absolute hot garbage. Awful, worse than Batman vs. Superman. And it could be redeemed in that 1 to 2 minute clip of various heroes and villains.
Sure.
And villains. I would love a couple villain teases too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it would redeem half the movie.
I think it's going to be a good movie. I have no idea if it's going to be incredible, but I also don't think it's going to be a hot mess.
My expectations are low,
and that's a great place to be.
And they will stay low.
That's the beauty of low expectations. It's the beauty of it. You get surprised.
And I can't wait to be in the theater with you booing it.
Powerful stuff. All right. Anything else on the Flash front, my man?
No.
Okay.
I think that's it.
It'll be fascinating to see in the months to come the additional build-up that we see in forms of additional trailers. That's just the first trailer, which is kind of wild.
And it comes out in April?
June, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep.
June or July.
Yep.
June.
All right, well, it's time to transition over to the Ant-Man side because, hey, I don't know if you knew, Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out this weekend.
Quantomania.
At the top. That's right, Quantum freaking Mania. So it's time for our official Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania preview. And as we like to do, we like to go through the roster of characters and predict who's going to live, who's going to die, any other, in between. Because there's a lot of things that people can do besides living and dying, what we think will happen to the characters. But overall, before we go through the roster, where are you at? A couple days before seeing the movie. How do you feel about it? What are you hoping for as we get closer?
I'm ready for Jonathan Majors. I think Kang has arrived. I think he's going to establish his dominance right away. I'm super excited for that. I think we all know that there's going to be some form of heist in this movie. I just hope that the heist is for a very important item, artifact, weapon of some sort from the comics.
Sure.
I think that would be really cool. Some sort of tech, because then it's like, oh, he's going after this, and then the comic book fans can be like, oh my gosh, it's the quantum nullifier or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm half right on that, I think. But you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So, I think that would be cool. There's some opportunity there. I think having Cassie there, being her own superhero as well, I think really sets up the young Avenger trend of,
sure.
Oh, we're introducing somebody else who can take over the main person's role.
Another person who can shoot a bow and arrow. Sweet.
So, we're getting clones on clones on clones. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm excited. I'm hoping we get more Hank and Janet, which I think we will. Because, we've had a little of Janet.
Yeah,
but not
very little. Very little.
Right.
Yeah.
So to see those two interact together, and in her realm, because this is where she was stuck for 40,
Absolutely.
50 years. So I will
She spent more time in the quantum realm than in the not quantum realm.
Right. So it'll be really exciting. And then we have Bill Murray in this movie somewhere.
Right. He's going to get sprinkled in there. Some kind of garnish on this.
Right.
On this meal.
So it's got potential.
Yeah. I am very, very excited to see Jonathan Majors as Kang.
It's going to be sweet.
That's going to be fantastic.
That's going to be the best part of this movie.
Yeah. My expectations for his portrayal of Kang are high, and for the rest of the movie are pretty modest. I think it's such a unexpected pairing, and I remember thinking this and us discussing it back when this movie was announced with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantomania. It's like, oh, whoa, okay, so Kang is going to be the main villain. That seems like a big come up for Ant-Man, like to be paired up with that significant of a Marvel villain. And the concern, as I recall, was, oh my gosh, are they shortchanging Kang? Like, is he gonna get just minimized? That was a good pun, actually, on the Ant-Man. Minimized. He didn't shrunk down.
It went right over my head. Didn't even think about it.
And the closer we've gotten to the movie, I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's going to be a shortchanging for Kang. But I do think he's going to be the show, right? Ant-Man's going to be there. The Wasp is going to be there. But I almost feel a little bad preemptively for Ant-Man in that there's just no way he can be as worthwhile in terms of what his character is going to present in this movie than Kang.
I want him to get rocked, to be honest. And I love Scott Lang, but I hope he gets rocked.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd does an outstanding job with the character. I'm with you. I love your call for, hey, let's get more of Hank and Janet in particular. I would say Hope has been pretty underutilized since taking on the Wasp mantle. Oh, yeah. So there's opportunity there as well. I don't know what to expect out of the movie as a whole. I think it'll be entertaining enough. I think it'll be fine. I'm kind of expecting it to be on the same, for me at least, the same level as Black Panther Wakanda Forever, where it's like, okay, that's good. But I'm hoping there's going to be some highlights like with Namor and with Kang. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm very excited to see Jonathan Majors as Kang. That's where I'm coming full circle here. That's where I'm at. Let's go. Let's see it. So, roster time. Should we see who lives and who dies?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, we'll go from the top. Paul Rudd as Scott Lang, a.k.a. Ant-Man.
Now, he's got to be alive, because somebody's got to warn people about Kang. Because, you had Hulk warn people about Thanos. Okay. You got to have somebody warn people about Kang, and that's going to be Scotty.
It is very likely that he will live. But I won't be blown away if he dies.
You won't be blown away if he dies?
I won't be blown away. No. I can see it. Like, he's had his movies. I mean, this is the third Ant-Man movie.
True.
How?
It's also... See, and I feel like it's going to be one of those things now where these...
Ant-Man.
Where...
Scott Lang's Ant-Man.
You know how, like, in comic book movies, when people die, they stay dead? I can see this being the start of the trend of, just because they die on screen doesn't mean they're dead in the actual...
Ooh, boy.
You know what I'm saying? Because now you have all the different variants, you have all the different timelines. Mm-hmm. Like, this is their way of being like, hey, we can kill him and we can still kind of have him, you know?
Yeah.
So... This could be the...
Start cheapening some deaths, in other words.
Right. Well, this is just... It's like comic books now, where it's like...
Which they're doing in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Yeah, so it's like...
It's already happening.
That's what I'm saying. So, it's like, okay, they're dead, but how long are they going to actually be dead?
How long are they, heavy air quotes, dead?
Before we recast them or do something different.
Yeah.
So, that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. So, we're both... assuming Scott Lang is going to make it. All right, Scott's okay. Hope Van Dyne. I mean, she's alive.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's like 100%. Not even a 99.99. It's 100%. She's not dying.
Yeah.
She's going to be fine.
I'll say she's alive.
You bet. Okay. Jonathan Majors as Kang.
I think this one lives, but again, this is playing. This is the plans of variants. They said already that there's going to be a lot of different variants. So if he dies, I don't think it will be because of Ant-Man. I think it will be because there's a stronger Kang variant.
Yeah, other Kangs.
Yeah, because they're going to... You think that one Kang's going after some secret weapon? I bet a bunch of other Kangs are going after that same weapon.
Yeah, that'll be fun to see. That'll be a lot of fun to see.
So that's my guess there.
Totally agree. Okay. Another layup here. Cassie Lang, daughter of
murdered.
Scott.
Absolutely brutally murdered.
You know what? Let's backtrack a little bit. So Cassie's going to die. Agreed. How many... Okay, I went too fast here. How many Kangs are going to die?
In this one?
Yeah.
I think just the one.
I think just the one?
I think just the one.
Ooh, interesting.
Because this is the first time we see Kang outside of the He Who Remains persona.
Yep.
So, and like I said, I think if this one will die towards the end, and I think that will be Ant-Man's realization of, oh no.
Okay. I respect your opinion. I'm going to guess there'd be like 4 of them.
You think? Okay. Because I can see that one also killing another version of himself.
Yes.
Because that would show...
how strong he is.
Well, that, and it'd be like, oh, this dude's willing to murder himself. What?
Yeah. Okay, that's good. You got one, I got
so
4.
maximum of...
I just thought of that.
I will
maximum 4.
I will say maximum of 3.
Okay, love it.
He'll kill one, one will kill
action.
him. Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Balanced as all things should be.
Okay, Cassie Lang. Toast probably for the first 5 minutes?
How hilarious would that be?
Wow.
Yeah, she's obviously going to live.
Yeah, she's fine. Okay, Janet Van Dyne.
This one I could see dead. I could see them bringing her back to navigate through all this just to die by the hands of Bill Murray.
Ooh, wow, Bill Murray.
No, it'll probably be Kang. I think Kang will do most of the murdering here. She'll probably be
Janet's a toss-up.
She'll probably be tortured by MODOK and then killed by Kang.
See, Janet, I could see living. I'm like 51% Janet's going to live. 49, she's dead. Okay. Now we're going to transition to the next character, Hank. Look,
one of them is dead.
I mean, Hank's 100% dead.
One or the other is dead.
Hank's toast.
Hank has more to lose.
Hank is toast.
Hank has more to lose than Janet.
If he doesn't die, I will be stunned.
Like, there's no way they both die.
You don't think so?
I don't think they'll both die. But one of them will die. And I'm 50-50 on who that's going to be.
I'm solid on it being Hank. Hank's gone.
I'll go Janet.
Ooh, nice.
I'll go Janet over Hank.
Okay. What makes you think Janet's more likely than Hank?
Well, do you know how devastating it would be for Hank if, like, he just got the love of his life back just to lose her again? That's pretty brutal. Same with Hope, to lose her mom again. Like...
Old double whammy, not good.
Right. So, I don't know. I think it would be more devastating if she died rather than him dying. And then you could kind of go with the whole Hank going on a darker path vibe and then him dying in some other weird way. But that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Janet over Hank.
Well, and if Janet dies first in the movie, then Hank's definitely dying. But if Hank dies, Janet will live.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You think
Yeah.
he's going to go batshit crazy after she dies, and then he too will die.
Yep. That's where I'm going with it.
50-50.
Okay.
50-50. Yeah, well, let's just say this. If Janet dies and Hope is believed dead, he's for sure dead. He will for sure die.
That's also true.
You know what I mean?
Also very true. Yeah.
He doesn't give a crap about Scott. But if the... So that's where I'm at.
No question. Totally agree. And that is, well, let's how about Bill Murray? Bill Murray's playing a character named Lord Krylar, or Krylar. We'll see how he chooses to pronounce that. Does Bill make it?
Sure.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
What else is he going to do?
Die hilariously.
That would be awesome.
I think he's dying hilarious.
I think that would be awesome.
Yep. MODOK?
MODOK will live.
Sure. Yeah, MODOK's got to stick around.
MODOK will live, and he'll kind of grow into his own villainy person. I think he's going to be a total... what's the word? I think he's going to be Kang's bitch in this movie. And then that Kang will die, and then he'll be free.
Okay.
And then he'll do his own
Gets
thing.
a little independence, flexes a little bit. That's fair.
Yeah, he'll escape
That's
the
fair.
quantum realm.
Yeah. Do you think there are any significant heroes or villains that haven't been revealed to us that we're going to get in this movie, that we're going to get surprised by?
Villain-wise, I think we're set.
Yep.
I think Kang and
There's
MODOK...
plenty, right?
Right.
And then you sprinkle a little MODOK in there.
Those are two pretty big names, Marvel villain-wise.
Yep. Agreed.
So I think
That's plenty.
I think they're good. I think if anybody else gets thrown in, it's like a minor villain that's like a henchman that you're like, oh.
Yeah, so nothing major on the villain side.
Right.
What about on the hero side? It's hard because who would even be able to get to the quantum realm, right?
Wong?
Gee.
Literally, if any... You know what I mean?
No,
if anybody's going to come into
Shows
this
up,
movie,
it's freaking Wong again.
it'll be Wong. Wong's the guy.
Do you think there's any chance we get some Loki?
Doubtful.
Okay.
I could see them leading into Loki season 2, but I do not think Ant-Man and Loki will have any direct impact with one another.
What about Ramonda?
That one, it would be, I think, more likely.
Yep.
Because her and Kang are like...
Yep.
But I don't know if that'll happen in this movie. I see that paying off more in Loki.
In the Loki show?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a sense that there's someone we haven't had revealed to us yet.
I don't either.
This feels like a full roster. So I feel different about this than like we just talked about the Flash, where I think there's room for others to show up. I think this is going to be it. And I just got to say, for Ant-Man, this remains a bit surreal to me. I remember when the first Ant-Man movie was coming out, and I was just beside myself. How in the world is Ant-Man getting a solo movie? And to his character's credit, he's held his own for 2 movies so far. I wouldn't call either of them anywhere close to my favorite movies.
But they're fun movies.
But they haven't been bad either. They've been fun, they've been quality entertainment, and they've continued to develop his character. So those are some legit, tangible wins.
And you can't not love Paul Rudd.
Oh my gosh, if you don't...
I love Paul Rudd.
What's wrong with you?
We've had this conversation a plethora of times. I love
Paul Rudd. The title of one
Rudd.
of our podcast episodes.
Yes, it's true.
Absolutely.
We do.
Love Paul Rudd.
We love Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Paul, come on.
Yeah, Paul, anytime.
Come on.
Anytime. That's great.
Come
Anything else you want to hit on prior to us getting to finally see this movie in just 2 days' time?
No, I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's a whole new place. It's a whole new world. Anything can happen.
It's going to be wild.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited.
Should be a lot of fun. All right, well, along the Ant-Man route or vein, we wanted to do a top 5, because it is top 5 time.
Top 5.
That was related to the Ant-Man movie. And so where we got to here is, hey, wait a minute, Ant-Man and the Wasp, that's a quality duo, a quality combo. What are our top 5 combos of characters in the MCU? And again, bear in mind, these are our favorites. These don't have to be your favorites, but these are our top 5 character combos.
Yeah, so if you don't like it, back off, dude.
Come up with your own and
Back
let us know what it is. Because maybe if you have something
off.
better than ours, we'll borrow it or use it.
No, I don't want your seconds.
Riley doesn't want it.
I don't want your
I'm open to
sloppies.
suggestions. Give me some better ones. Okay, Riles, on that note, you go first. Who is your number 5?
Number 5.
Yep.
I have Loki
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
Mobius.
Uh-huh.
Not Loki and Thor.
Uh-huh.
Loki and Mobius.
Great pick.
Because you gotta love yourself some Owen Wilson.
You do. You really do.
Wow. So that is my number 5 pick. Their back and forth banter is phenomenal, and I like that somebody has that much more control over Loki.
Yeah.
Compared to Thor, where Thor and him kind of have that brotherly back and forth, but I don't know. I think it pays off.
Mobius is one up on him.
I think it just pays off more with Mobius. You know.
Okay. Good choice. Really good choice. My number 5 is Black Panther and Okoye.
Okay.
And I'm going to say Black Panther, whether it's T'Challa or Shuri. They both need their Okoye. She is one heck of a support for both of those individuals when they're wearing the Black Panther mantle. Exquisitely loyal. I mean, she sticks by these two through just absolute turmoil. And the work that Okoye does with a spear, give her the heart-shaped herb and let's see what she can do. She's got some skills. So Black Panther better off when he or she has Okoye by their side. That's my number 5. My number 4, Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, and Ned Leeds. Someday, Ned will, turn into...
I'm not gonna say that duo doesn't exist anymore.
But it did, dang it, and it was glorious.
And they built a Lego Death Star together.
They built a Lego
so you were
Death Star
jealous.
together. I was jealous. Ned was the guy in the chair. He was perfect. He knew when to step up and provide the cover for Peter.
What are you doing in here? Watching porn? What?
He provided the cover that he needed to jump in during Infinity War. I mean, Ned did work, right? They went overseas. Ned crafts a romance out of nowhere on his own accord while Peter's struggling. He's blazing the trail for Peter. What a support to Peter. What a combo. Ned and Peter. Great team up. Love those guys. That's my number 4.
My number 4 is Rocket and Groot.
Ah.
Gotta love those two. They were phenomenal together in the first movie, and then they
Yes.
switch it up a little bit where he's kind of a parent in the second movie.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see them together again for this third movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think every scene they're in together, when they land in Infinity War with Thor, they just steal it.
You bet.
They steal the show together.
You bet they do. That's a great pick. Great number 4.
My number 3 now?
Let's hear it.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
I forgot that we go right back to me.
You do.
Number 3, I have Iron Man and War Machine.
Okay.
Ever since the first movie, when Rhodey's like, I'm going to get that suit. And then they kind of have this beautiful back and forth of where Rhodey's like, I'm going to do everything that the government asked me to. So, but you need to help me out a little bit here to justify you. And then they kind of just, they have that bromance together where they're like, we understand what we're all capable of. And then, of course, when Stan calls him Tony Stank, just hilarious. So I'm going to say Iron Man, War Machine. And when they go back to back at Iron Man 2, you can say whatever you want about that movie.
Great scene.
That scene is iconic.
It's a great scene.
It's a fantastic scene.
Love that. Yeah. Let them unleash. Great number 3. My number 3, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought long and hard about Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. Tempting. Or Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. But I ended up going with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Bucky and Sam Wilson, based largely on the merits of what a heck of a combo they were in their own TV show. They were terrific together. There was plenty of friction there, but the friendship that materialized out of that friction was beautiful. They were so enjoyable whenever they were on screen in the show, and even prior to the show, in Civil War, the scenes they had together were brief but fantastic. And so I really enjoyed those two characters. The fact they got their own TV show was a perfect pairing, and I will rewatch that show many times and enjoy it many times. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier is my number 3. My number 2, Tony Stark and the aforementioned Steve Rogers. These two characters, whenever they're on the screen together, it is gold. Absolute gold. They need each other. They're on opposite ends of the... Steve's a very black and white guy. Tony's a gray is the only color. And so there is plenty of conflict between the two of them, but the amount that they end up complementing one another with their skill sets and their points of view. I mean, obviously there's plenty of, we talk about friction with Falcon and Winter Soldier. There is friction aplenty with Steve and with Tony. But when they find a way to make it work with each other, there's no more dynamic combo and frankly just enjoyable banter between the two of them from the time of the Avengers all the way through Endgame. Love those two together. Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, number 2.
My number 2, Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in the comics, not the same kind of relationship, but in this, it really works well in the MCU.
Yeah.
You get to see Tony kind of take on that mentorship role, which you don't really see him take in any of the movies.
Yep.
Really, like that to that extent. And then obviously when they team up in Civil War, it's fantastic. Their dynamic in Homecoming, and then just to see in Far From Home, Far From Home, just the dealing with that loss.
Yeah.
And him not dealing, he wasn't the only one dealing with that loss either, but to just pretty much have this mantle thrown on him as being, you have to be the guy now.
Yeah.
Like their back and forth is hilarious.
It's great.
So, Iron Man and Spider-Man, number 2.
Love it. All right, my man. Good number 2. Really good number 2. Who's your number 1?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes!
Yeah, that's my favorite combo in probably all the movies. They are hilarious together. Civil War, when they're fighting Spider-Man together, hilarious. When they're with they're in the backseat of the car, hilarious. And then in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they have the switch around on that.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. And their fight against U.S. Agent is arguably one of the best hand-to-hand fights in the MCU. It is fantastic. They're both dealing with that pain of the mantle and loss of Steve in that fight.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
It's great. They bring out the best in each other.
Right, and just the character growth between the two of them, even in that show alone, is amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Captain America in the world, or not Captain. Well, yeah, technically it is Captain America. Technically it is.
That's where it ends.
Spoilies. It is Captain America and the Winter Soldier. We hope White Wolf eventually.
Right.
But that's my number 1.
Glorious number 1. My number 1 is Thor and Loki. All right? From the time of even the first Thor movie, which is, it's not a great movie. It's okay. But it's not great. The dynamic between those two grows and survives the first Thor movie, gets better in the second Thor movie. Obviously provides a tremendous amount of conflict in the original Avengers movie, but the banter that these two have in the third Thor movie in Thor Ragnarok is just incredible.
They really felt like siblings in that movie.
Oh, it's fantastic. They are constantly against each other, and I really enjoyed what they did in Thor: The Dark World. I thought that the amount of chemistry between those two was tremendous, even in that not great movie. Thought it was outstanding, and so it was fully fleshed out and realized in Thor Ragnarok. That was absolutely incredible. So Thor and Loki for me is my number one. Just again, personal favorite. I think there are plenty of other character dynamics and relationships that, I shouldn't say plenty, a couple others that if I was going more of a overall impact in the MCU, I would choose this differently. But for me, Thor and Loki, when they're at their peak, that's my favorite to enjoy. I enjoy it a lot.
I mean, even in like Avengers 2, it's just when they're not together, even it's just him telling him, "Oh, that was your brother who did that." And he's like, "Adopted." So that's a good choice.
Yeah, thank you. So there you go. There's another classic. JP and the Beans top 5. Another outstanding run through. So that's what we got, Riles. That's another glorious episode for the people. Look at us just being generous that way.
We repped it out, baby.
How about that?
Repped it out.
Yeah, well, I hope those of you that are watching Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania are enjoying the bejesus out of it. I love what my guy Eric is already texting me about. It looks like he's enjoying himself, or did enjoy himself. Way to go, Mr. Hurd. Can't wait to engage in greater dialogue with many of you in the days to come.
Yes, and if you've seen the movie Friday and Saturday, do not talk to me until after I've seen it Saturday night at like 10 o'clock. Okay? Or I'll burn you at the stake.
Wow.
So no spoilies. No spoilies.
Keep them.
Okay?
Keep them.
On another note, probably time to wrap.
It is.
So, JP and the Beanstalk.
Yes.
Come check us out on all the podcast platforms. You obviously found us.
Thank you.
We are at 8 a.m. I don't know if I said that in the last one, but we are 8 a.m. on Fridays now, and that's going to be that way for a little while.
Get your weekend off to a great start.
Yes, that's the idea. Bang! Friday, baby. And then follow us on TikTok on at Magic Beans Productions, and then also follow us on YouTube at JP and the Beanstalk.
Love it.
And I think that's and then of course I gotta shout out my boy Danny O'Mani.
Come on,
because he shouted us out.
Yes.
I gotta shout him out. Go check him out on the Tickety Talk, because the dude is.
He's the man.
He's Molecule Man.
He's the man.
He's Molecule Man. You're going to be seeing him in all of the Fantastic Four movies coming out soon. So make sure you go check out Danny O'Mani.
Yes.
I think that's it.
Love you, Ben.
Yes, we do love you, Ben. You're welcome here anytime.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yep.
We appreciate the heck out of you.
Godspeed.
Peace.